webinar. This is regarding our current portal that we've just made some changes to. Please be patient with us. As I said, this is our first ever webinar for Taskforce, so there might be a few teething problems with us, but I'd love to go through with what our changes are happening today. I'll be introducing some of the things that we're doing today, so we can go to our next screen. Okay. So our program for this morning is I'm introducing you. So hi, my name is Jacinta. I'm one of the Senior Business Relationship Managers here. I'll just be going through a few things this morning. After that, we'll be talking about why we've done this digest today, and then we're going to talk about how it works, and that will be with one of our other team members, Ash. Okay, so welcome. So this webinar should be about 30 minutes. We're going to do about 15 minutes with a Q&A, so please feel free up in the corner to actually write your questions during this webinar. If we can answer them live, we will. Otherwise, we'll actually give you some, when we send you a link after this, we'll reply to some of the other ones we haven't been able to get to. Also, you'll receive a full recording of the webinar afterwards and a copy of the Q&As after that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pass you on to my boss, Jason.
Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for joining the webinar today or watching this video afterwards. The feedback that we've received over the last 5 years has all been taken on board. The digest is all about that feedback. We want to make running your compliance program as easy as possible. So we've tried to make a system that is all about making it simple, easy to explain, easy to use. We've taken a lot of feedback on board over the years about not making you guys learn a software program. So we've tried to make everything one click. So we really value your feedback. We want more feedback in the coming weeks and months about the digest, but this is certainly the biggest improvement that we've made to our software. And we look forward to getting all that feedback and continuing to improve.
Wonderful. Well, you've heard why we're doing it. Let's actually jump in and have a little bit of a look at what you'll be using going forward. So my name's Ashley. I'm one of the Senior Business Relationship Executives here. And today I'm going to take you through what it actually looks like, how the weekly email works, and then we'll go through how you can approve or edit jobs, how you can do rectification quotes, and introduce you to our new notice of entry system as well. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can view this. As a default, as a property manager, you'll see just your particular properties that you're assigned to as the property manager. If you're a director or you're a compliance manager, you'll see your entire portfolio. Now we can adjust that to suit your particular operating structure. So just have a chat with your account manager or our team here in Richmond, and we'll actually get that sorted for you so that your team sees exactly what they need to see. One other exciting thing that I'll show you towards the end of today is that we're also launching a new way for you to find invoices and job history, including the previous reports. All right, well, with that said, let's get straight into it. So you can see over on the left of your screen here, the new weekly digest email. Now, currently when a job is due, we'll send you a reminder for that particular property. We're actually going to combine those into just one weekly email. The feedback that we've been getting is that when we have multiple emails coming through in a day or over the week, sometimes they get missed. You can action some, but then others get missed, particularly on days when you're out on the road. So we're going to change all of that going forward and have them all sit in this one weekly email. You get it at the same time every week. And at the moment, we're going to plan that to come out on a Monday morning. Once you click through, it will take you into our portal, which is a secure place where all of your data is stored. So you will need to log in, and we do have two-factor authentication for that as well. But that's when you can then see all of the information. So let's get straight into it. And first, we're going to have a look at the safety checks and what's due. So 3 weeks before the property is actually required to be done, we're going to add it into your to-do list here. So it's going to sit under safety checks due. You can see in this particular example, I've got 4 in my particular one at the moment. And this first property here, you can see that it's enrolled in electrical and smoke. You can see that across the top here. So that's a new status ID that we've put in there for you. All of the other information is here, the address, the renter, and the owner. So for this particular one, if your CRM connected, it will automatically come through and you'll have that renter detail update. Otherwise, you'll be able to manually update them in here in the future as well. You can see on this particular property, the service dates for both electrical and smoke are coming up in 9 days. All of the information is correct, so I'm ready to approve that one. Jason said one click, this is all you do. Click on approve, you get that success notification, and that job is already created. You're down to 3 that you need to action for that week. As soon as you activate that job, we'll send out the SMS and the email to your renter, and they can book it in with us on their live calendar. Now, this second one, let's do something slightly different on this. You can see it's enrolled in electrical, gas, and smoke, and all of them are due in the next 11 days. But let's say in this particular instance, the owner's actually just removed gas on the property since it was last serviced, and there's no longer gas that we need to service. So we need you to let us know so that we can change that job type from its current setting of electrical, gas, and smoke. So if you click on Edit Job Type, let us know if this is a one-off change or a change for this and all future jobs. Obviously, this is one where we're not doing gas, there's no longer gas in the property, so we're going to change this for all future jobs. We just need you then to confirm what we're going to do as for the servicing on this particular property going forward. So in this case, you just select the property requires electrical and smoke, but no gas. Hit Submit, and that's done. You can see here that it's now changed this property to only show electrical and smoke. It's now grayed out the gas, and of course, both of those are due. So the job type that we're suggesting here is electrical with smoke. Click on Approve, get the success message, and that SMS goes out to your tenant straight away. All right, so we've only got 2 left here. Let's do something a little bit different. Say on this particular property here at 7070 Lara Drive, let's get back to the correct screen. So this one here at 7070 Lara Drive, that you actually don't need this one to be serviced anymore. So you're going to decline the job. Say the owner's moved back in, or they're taking it off the rental market for a short period of time to renovate it, for instance. So all you need to do is click on Decline, confirm that we're no longer servicing that property, and that will automatically drop off your to-do list. Now, if you are CRM connected and you make a property inactive, it will also take it off this list or make sure that it doesn't show up on this list when it's next due. Now, say you're going away next week on holidays, going off to the Bahamas, somewhere lovely, nice and sunny, and you actually want to put a note on this particular property here because you don't want it to be approved right yet, but you need to put a note for one of your other colleagues or yourself when you come back, because there's something particular in that property that means you've got to hold off on that particular one. You can now add a little note in there. So click on Notes, add your information up here, and then click Submit. You can see on this particular one, I've popped in that we're putting this on hold for now. The owner's planning to potentially move back in December, and we've just got to work that out. So that will show there next time you come back into this as well. All right, that's it for the safety checks due. Nice and simple, one click. That's the main thing to do. Now, of course, there's also rectification approvals. Now, we'll continue to send out the quote to you within 24 hours of you receiving the report. However, they'll also now show up on your weekly digest or your weekly to-do list at each of those times in that intervals as well if you haven't already actioned it. Let's have a look at this particular example here. So I've got 2 jobs that have got quotes that I haven't yet approved. Now, the first one there is to replace a faulty gas regulator on the cooktop. Now, let's say my owner's got back to me, they've sent me an email and said, yes, go ahead, this one's absolutely fine. So you move over to click on Approve Quote, approve that quote, and it's done. We'll then contact your renter and go off and do that particular job and get that all sorted for you as soon as possible. Now, let's say on this second one, however, 203 Gregory Street, your owner actually hasn't got back to you yet, and you want to send it out to them again. This is something we couldn't do in our previous portal, but I'm happy to say you can now either add a note, like we just showed you before, or you can actually send the quote to the owner. So if you click on Send Quote to Owner, it'll bring up your owner's details, and you can just approve that to go through to the owner, and then they can actually approve it. If they approve it from the quote, then it automatically removes it from this list as well. Otherwise, if they send you back the email like the previous example, then you can just jump back in here next week and approve that, or you can also jump back in here at any time. So speaking of jumping back in here at any time, you will see over the next week as we roll this out that it will start to show up in your portal up here on the top. It'll be in beta testing phase for the first couple of weeks, and we'd love to get your feedback if you see anything that's not working correctly, or if you see something that actually would be a great suggestion. Just click on Submit Feedback, and we'll be able to get that information through and get it sorted for you. Now, as far as updating the owner's details, that is a future update that you'll be able to do in here. At the moment, we've just got that details, but over the next few weeks, our dev team will be adding that in so that you can change it and send it to, say, a secondary owner as well. Alrighty. Let's move on to notice of entry approvals. Don't get scared. This is actually a really good thing. So previously, when we've been contacting your renters, we send them an SMS and an email about every 6 days. We're actually, that process can sometimes drag on, and it's only for 1 or maybe 2% of the properties. The majority of renters are fantastic. They respond straight away, they book it in, and they're used to it. But just for those 1 or 2%ers where we're not getting a response, we're going to update our process internally for this now with this new notice of entry process. So let's have a look at a couple of examples here. So we've got this first one where our team has been sending out the SMS and the emails. We haven't got a response. At the 3-week mark, our team will now pick up the phone and actually call your renters and try and book it in. But if they don't have any success in that, they'll manually add that property to your notice of entry approvals list. And what we're doing here is we're asking you for permission to be able to send them a notice of entry to go in and actually do it on a particular day where we're in that area. So say this first one, you're happy for us to do that. You know the renter, Samuel Jackson's absolutely fantastic. By the way, all of the information in here is actually just randomized information. It's not real tenant information. But you can approve the entry. Click on that. Just confirm for us that you know the electricity is on the property, for instance. Now, this will become a little bit more valid when we're doing things like vacant properties, if you need us to go in there. So yes, the power is turned on, and just let us know where you need us to potentially pick the keys up from. So that will default to your regular office here, but if you click on that and you have multiple offices, you can select other offices, or you can tell us another office or other location. So let's just take that scenario for a second. Say you want us to get it from a different pickup location, another office that you've got. Click on New Office, start typing in the address, that will automatically populate. And if you can, just let us know maybe the office hours so that we make sure that we turn up in the correct hours, especially if they're unusual. Now, this is also an area where you could tell us that there's actually a key safe on the property and the code is 1234. It's located on the gas meter. You can use that to get the keys for the property. Once you approve that, we'll remove it from that list and our team will then go through the process of doing that. Now, we do have some templated emails and everything that we can use, and we actually get you to approve those as we run as far as sending the notice of entry. So have a chat with your account manager. They'll show you through those, and if you do need to change them, we can negotiate that and look at what we can change in there to be specific for the processes of your office. Now, if you have a tenant where you know the notice of entry approval process won't work, or potentially you've called them and they're away for a month, but they're going to get back to us as soon as they're back, you can simply just decline the approval here. So just go down, click decline, and that's it. It'll remove, and you're all good. You're all done. Okay, so that's the basis of it. They're the 3 sections that you'll need to look at and action, and we'll send those through to you on a weekly basis. But there will be more functionality that we'll be adding into here in the future, and one that we've already popped on there is the ability to look at some of your previous jobs. So here you can search for information on particular properties, and you can also find reports and invoices in this jobs tab. So all of your properties will show up there that we've previously completed jobs on. You can type in the address bar here and search for a particular property, or you can select from different statuses. So say you just want to look at properties that are currently booked in and see where they're at, you can click it from that status section there. This particular example, we're going to have a look at 104 Yulara Drive. I need to maybe get the report and make sure we've paid that one. So start typing it in, select the address from the population drop down, hit submit, and now you can see I'm only seeing the history for that particular property. And you can see here we went out in March earlier this year, and you've got a copy of the report and the invoice. So the report you've always been able to get from our portal. We also have the ability to put that report directly back into your CRM if you're linked with Property Me or Property Tree. So have a chat with our account managers about that. But for the first time in our portal, you can now access the invoices. We'll still continue to email those to you directly, but you have the ability to go back and get them in here as well. Simply click on one of those links, and that's it. That's all the information ready at your fingertips. So once you're all done, it will say all good. There's nothing else to do. It'll remain blank until we update the properties that are coming up over the following 3 weeks in the following week's to-do list. And we'll send that email out to you next Monday. Alrighty, so a lot of information there, but thank you for sticking with it. So a quick recap. Monday, you'll get an email of everything that's due in your week ahead. And we're just looking at kind of week by week process, keeping it nice and simple. It's one click from that to jump into your portal and then it takes you directly to your digest page. You can see exactly what needs to be done, and then you can approve or decline just as we've gone through today. So you can do all of those action tasks. Now, the to-do list does, as I showed, appear in that portal menu, and you do have the ability to submit feedback through there as well. So please do that and let us know what you think of it, what works really well, and what you'd like to see added into it in the future. If you have any issues, of course, jump in there as well. Alrighty, now, before we get into the Q&A, I'm going to launch a quick poll. So you've heard me use a little bit of language here, weekly digest, weekly to-do list. We'd actually love your feedback. We can't quite work out exactly what we want to call it here. So I'm going to start a quick poll now, and this will pop up on your screen. And I'll just get you to answer that one there. Would you like it to be called the weekly digest, a weekly to-do list, a weekly whip, or something else? And pop it in the chat if that's the case. I'll give you a couple of seconds to pop your answers in there. Got a few coming through. Couple for digest. To-do list seems good at the moment. What's balancing up? And just a reminder, if you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat. Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to close the poll there. Looks like to-do list is just the winner. So thank you so much for that feedback. We really appreciate that. Sharing the results there, and yeah, weekly to-do list just edges out there with 50% of the votes. Alrighty. Well, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us later on. We're happy to answer them at any time. We'd love your feedback. And if you'd like to book an online session for your team to know a little bit more information, there's a QR code up on your screen now. I'll just turn my camera off so make sure it doesn't cover any of those for you. Again, thank you so much for your time. Like we said, this is our first webinar today. We're looking forward to doing a lot more of these, and we're going to do them on various different subjects, things that are a lot more relevant to you, things like rental minimum standards, the new standards that are coming in for 2027. We're looking to launch those in the new year. But if you have any other ideas of what you'd like to see, please reach out and let us know. Again, thank you so much for your time today. We hope this weekly to-do list makes your life a lot easier and simplifies the communication from us to your agency. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.